Whoa! Yesterday I talked about great drummers and why drumming is so important in writing awesome songs. And today I was actually going to talk about like bass players and stuff like that, but it's Saturday, and I just wanted to have a little bit more fun and talk about something a little bit more, not personal, but just a little bit more depth in it or something. Feeling spontaneous. But yeah, so yesterday I spoke about Lars Ulrich and Metallica, and I also mentioned that I thought that the drum sound on Saint Anger was really good. A little bit of a controversial thought, really, but my thought is obviously correct. That it's awesome. Yeah, and I wanted to talk about Saint Anger by Metallica, and like I wanted to talk about a few things like to do with it. I wanted to talk about the production on it, the songwriting on it, how evil the press can be, music press, how evil they can be. They're kind of the main things I wanted to talk about. So, first up, the production. That's what we're going to talk about first. Honestly, sonically, I think that Saint Anger is one of the best albums I've ever heard, and most people don't think that. And I'm not sure if you don't think that because you've read it 1,000 billion times all over the internet, or if you actually think it. Try to pull yourself away from that shit because, like, to me, when I hear that drum kit, like, the whole thing they were trying to get at there was go back to the sound of, metal bands when they were just jamming in a garage or, jamming together in a live room. And, I play drums, and when I hear Saint Anger, and I try to like visualize, sitting behind a kit and stuff like that it's the closest I've heard. I think that, or maybe some Led Zeppelin stuff. I think that very much represents the sound of a drum kit, a different type of drum kit. But yeah, like the snares ringy, big fucking deal. That's what snares sound like, especially people jamming in a garage that can't tune instruments. You know what I mean, or something like that. It's like around that time, everyone was so accustomed to hearing metal music sound like. Who else was around then? Like, I don't know. I don't even know. Just shit bands that are so overly produced that your ear got fucking used to that sound and can't handle like anything real and raw, which is fine. It's a different type of production, but you can't get so nitpicky and like ew about this when it's exactly what they were trying to do. And yeah, I don't know. And like the guitar sounds, god damn, like I don't know, like so those like the beginning of Frantic, like just listen to that, like that, and that high riff played up near the like 18th fret and stuff like that. I think they were in C for that song. I'm not sure though. Oh man, it's so like creamy and heavy, and it's got this sweetness to it as well. Hetfield's voice in that, it's so dry, and like I think that's another cool thing about it. Like it's so dry and it's very upfront. Sometimes the only criticism I have of that is that I wish the vocals were just to pull back a tiny bit more, but I don't know if I'm actually correct there. Like if it actually happened, would I like it as much? The lyrics are a big part of that album. It was very much James Hetfield going through like a really big experience with alcoholism and kind of just other bad habits and being like down in the depths of anger. I think that dude's got some pretty hectic anger issues. I watched him on Joe Rogan recently. He's a fantastic dude. Like he's so interesting and well spoken, and he's totally willing to talk about his emotions and things like that. He's like this manly dude that gets up there with his fucking explorer or whatever and fucking spits it in the mic. But then he's like this soft dude that writes, not soft, but like this emotional and vulnerable guy that writes lyrics like Fade to Black. And also all the stuff on Saint Anger is extremely vulnerable. The Unnamed Feeling, man. um, yeah. So, yeah, what else was I going to talk about? How the press are evil. Like, the best thing about Metallica is how they're huge risk takers and they're daring. They changed and developed so much over their career. And yeah, sometimes they made some choices that I don't really dig. Like when I was a hardcore Metallica fan, I was like, yeah, Load and Reload are cool, but these days I'm kind of like, I don't really like that stuff. It's like I don't think it's sold out at all. I think they were just trying some new stuff and got a bit lost and lost the zazz of what they were really in it for. But yeah, like The Press, like, that was new and it was different. And I think it's the most innovative album they ever wrote. And I think it's one of the most innovative albums in metal, but unfortunately it was ignored. And people didn't go in that direction. But yeah, like, they just wrote it off. They wrote it off. You know, Snare sounds bad. Oh, this isn't Metallica. And same with the fucking pussy Metallica fans that couldn't stomach anything new. That's the other thing. Like, bitchy little fucking narrow-minded metal fans. Like, shut your fucking mouth, idiots. So annoying. Yeah, they just ruined it. And like now it's at the point, like, and as I said, that was kind of like Metallica's most vulnerable moment. And they got shamed for it. And now they don't even really play those songs live much anymore or anything like that. It's like they put it in the vault, you know what I mean? Like they're ashamed of it. And it's terrible that the music press or music fans would ever make musicians who are real people, who are artists, feel that way about something they've created. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't pull someone down, especially when it's so obvious that it's coming from a very genuine place. There's a lot of integrity in that album, you know what I mean? Yeah, so, yeah, I think it's a really cool album, and I think that a thing I think about Metallica is that I think they write the best intros in heavy music that I've ever heard, and I think that's why they're so popular. Their intros are their songs. Although they have really good songs as well, everything about Metallica is their intros. That's what you hum and that's what you get, you know, or like gravitate towards as soon as the intro starts. Think of Battery, that acoustic guitar, Master of Puppets, frantic. What else? Oh, like in terms of Saint Anger, I think the best intro on that album is Shoot Me Again. It's the heaviest thing I've ever heard. I'm Australian, but I'm currently in Poland and just traveling around the world. But when I used to drive in Australia, just before I came over here, I would crank that song, Shoot Me Again, so loud, and just cruise around and, you know, get my vibe on. Like, the part where it kind of breaks and that bass line, it's like kind of really creepy, and then it comes back in, it's like, seeing that live, like, that's what I want to see live, and it's so aggressive, it's so angry, it's so aggressive, and it got pulled down. Fuck. Saint Anger, like, what a cool term, what a cool idea, Saint Anger. I think it's really interesting, and I think it's a shame, and I think that basically, like, innovation tends to get torn down by the general public and the people that don't understand it. You know, even my friend recommended, like, a show on Netflix called Chef's Table, and it's kind of all to do with that, how, like, innovative chefs bring out this new cuisine and the public can't handle it, and they give it bad reviews, and the food reviewers, the critiques give it terrible, it is not good, but then all of a sudden they catch on and it's like, oh, this is really good. That's something that's so puzzling. Like, the public should never get to decide if something is good because they're usually quite fucking stupid, I think. Bit harsh today, but it annoys me when I think about Saint Anger and how misunderstood it was. People didn't take the time. It's not accessible. Get over it. Yeah, so I don't know, yeah, like, again, yesterday I spoke about how I like Lars Ulrich. Listen to him on that album. Fucking hell. Listen to how brutal he is. How brutal he is in that album. Tell me that's not good shit. Like, listen to that objectively instead of hating him for the dude that fought Napster and the arrogant guy that has a big art collection and the outspoken guy and the little weasel. It's like, forget about that. Don't worry about that. Just listen to the drumming. Just listen to the drumming. It's intense. It's so brutal. It's so fucking brutal. Anyway, that's enough about Saint Anger. Well, I could go on for a long time. But yeah, I reckon check it out and forget about what you've read, forget about what you've heard, go in with an open mind and turn it up really fucking loud and maybe even take some drugs too, like some speed or some, you know, ecstasy or something like that, some cocaine, and just go mental. Or get stoned and chill to it, but I don't know if I really like that combo. Alright, peace dudes, keep on thinking about music.